morning, beloveds. I noticed that it does this weird... I've started using the reduced background noise and voice enhancements because I noticed it makes the sound a little bit louder in the video. But then I also noticed that it's got this weird whooshing, buzzing sound when it starts. So I was just talking about nothing so that maybe it wouldn't do that when the video came on. So, all right. We're in the introduction of the Science of Mind text. We are on the part 2, which is the way it works. It's a little bit shorter. I may be able to get through it all the way, but if not, I'll finish it tomorrow. All right, so the way it works. The science of mind is not a special revelation of any individual. It is rather the culmination of all revelations. We take the good wherever we find it, making it our own insofar as we understand it. The realization that good is universal and that as much good as any individual is able to incorporate in their life is theirs to use, is what constitutes the science of mind and spirit. We have discussed the nature of the thing as being universal energy, mind, intelligence, spirit, finding consciousness and individualized centers of expression through us, and that person's intelligence is this universal mind functioning at the level of the person's acceptance concept of it. This is the essence of the whole teaching. Universal mind or spirit is God. There is a universal mind, spirit, intelligence, that is the origin of everything. It is first cause. It is God. This universal life and energy finds an outlet in and through all that is energized and through everything that lives. There is one life back of everything that lives. There is one energy back of all that is energized. This energy is everything. There is one spirit back of all expression. That is the meaning of that mystical saying, in spirit we live and move and have our being. Acts 17:28. The life which we live is the universal life expressing through us. Else how could we live? Our thought and emotion is the use we make, consciously or unconsciously, of this original creative thing that is the cause of everything. Therefore, we shall say that the mind, spirit, and intelligence, which we find ourselves, is as much of this original creative God as we understand. That this is not robbing of God is a self-evident fact. Since we are real and actual and have existence. And since we can reduce all that is to a fundamental unit, we find that we can have this proposition. There is spirit, or this invisible cause, and nothing out of which all things are to be made. Now, spirit plus nothing leaves spirit only. Hence, there is one original cause and nothing out of which we are made. In other words, we are made from this thing. That is why we are called the child of God. We now know that this is what we are because we could not be anything else. But we do not know how much of this we are. When we see it as it is, then we shall see ourselves as we are. We can only see it by looking at it through our own eyes. Hence, we shall find a better God when we shall have arrived at a higher standard for people. If God is to interpret itself to people, it must interpret itself through people. And the Spirit can make no gift that we do not accept. The seed of perfection is hidden within. The original life is infinite, and it is good. It is filled with peace. It is of the essence of purity. It is the ultimate of intelligence. It is power. It is law. It is life. It is us. In that inner sanctuary of our own nature, hidden perhaps from objective gaze, nestles the seed of perfection. In our ignorance of the truth, we have misused the highest power we possess. And so great is this power, so complete is our freedom in it, so absolute the domain of law through it, that the misuse of this power has brought upon us the very conditions from which we suffer. We are bound because we are first free. The power which appears to bind us is the only power in the universe which can free us. This is why Jesus summed up his whole philosophy in this simple statement. It is done unto you as you believe. The great teacher looked so deeply into nature that she revealed her fundamental simplicity to him. That believe and that as symbolize heaven and hell. And so we suffer not because suffering is imposed upon us, but because we are ignorant of our true nature. Spirit works for us by working through us. The thing, then, works for us by working through us and is us. It cannot work for us in any other way. It spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle, but it can become power to us only when we recognize it as power. We cannot recognize that it is while we are believing that it is not. Hence, it is written, they entered not in because of unbelief. Hebrew 4:6. We may enter in because of our belief, but we cannot enter while there is unbelief. Here we come to a house divided against itself. If we say we can only experience a little good, then we shall experience but a little good. But if we say, with Emerson, there is no great and no small to the soul that maketh all, then we may experience a greater good because we have conceived it. Therefore, our belief sets the limit of our demonstration of a principle which of itself is without limit. It is ready to fill everything because it is infinite. So, it is not a question of its willingness nor of its ability. It is entirely a question of our own receptivity. How much can we believe? That we must go the way of the law is a fundamental tenet of this science, because nature obeys us as we first obey it, and our obedience to it is our acceptance of it. How much can we believe? As much as we can believe will be done unto us. When the consciousness speaks, the law receives and executes. When a farmer plants a seed, he invokes the law. That which follows is done by the mechanical side of nature, which has no volition of its own. Involution is the cause, and evolution is the effect. When a practitioner thinks, or gives a treatment, or makes a prayer, they are dealing with involution, the first step of the creative order. This is what the Bible calls the Word. That which follows is evolution, or the unfoldment of the word or concept into objective experience. We are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, enmeshed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. Call it what you will. The sum total of our thought, will, purpose, and belief creates a tendency in this law that causes it to react to us according to the sum total of that belief. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. If, then, certain specific ways of thought and belief have produced limitations, other beliefs will change them. We must learn to believe. The approach should be direct and it should be specific. Side note, this is why we say we teach you how to believe, not what to believe. Back to the reading. Suppose one is laboring under the idea of limitation. The whole thought is a picture of limitation. Where are they placing their self in mind? Are they not, in substance, saying, I cannot have and enjoy good things? And they are demonstrating that they cannot have or accomplish good. It may be time to reshape the basis of their thought. They must commence by saying, I perceive that because I am what I am, because of this infinite thing that overshadows eternity and finds its abiding place in me now. I know that good is now mine, all good. There is no mental coercion to this. We do not will things to be done. Things are brought into being not by will, but by the power of self-assertive truth. How much can one demonstrate? Just what can one believe? How much can we see? How much can we accept? How much can we find in our consciousness that is no longer repudiated by our own denials? Whatever that is how much we can have. Good only, not good and evil. The gardener goes forth in faith to sow their seeds. They have learned that as they sow, so shall they reap, that the law works for all alike. We must concern ourselves with the concept of the impersonalness of the law, the availability of the law, and the mechanical accuracy of the law. We can conceive only a little good. If we can conceive only a little good, that is as much as we can experience. We must instill into the mind of the fundamental proposition that good is without bounds. Only good and loving kindness shall follow me all of my days. Psalm 23. We must get this concept rather than continuing to think that there is a power as opposed to the power of, there is a power of evil as opposed to the power of good. We experience good and evil because we perceive a persistence in duality rather than unity. Then, knowing that the thing can work for us only through us, let us begin to accept today more good than we experienced yesterday, and to know that we shall reap a harvest of fulfilled desires. The time must come when we shall have left the apparent evil behind, when it shall be rolled up like a scroll and numbered with the things which were once thought to be. Side note, I think that's Emerson, but don't quote me on that. Back to the reading. Let us realize and work with this sound knowledge and perfect faith, that as high as we shall make our mark in mind and spirit, so high shall be its outward manifestation in our material world. And that concludes the way it works. And tomorrow we will move on to part 3, which is what it does, which is a little bit longer. So it'll probably take that'll probably take 2 readings. All right. So I hope you're enjoying the side notes when I toss them in there. And I'm trying to say side notes so that you know that that's not part of the reading. If you're reading along, obviously you'll know that, but if not, but there it is. All right. I am going to move on into the process of my day. So far, I'm enjoying this. I hope you are too. And I don't know what I was about to say there. So I'm just going to remind you, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. And I want you to know what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload complete chapters to the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel, but I'm going to do daily on mine. So if you're looking for the complete chapter, you may have to wait a couple of days as I complete the chapter, and then I'm going to knit them together and upload them to the YouTube, to the Creative Life Spiritual Center. If you just want to hear the daily reading, what I get through daily, then that's going to be on the Running Rev Ryan channel. So if you're looking for anything in particular, I think it'll be easier that way for me to keep track of it on Creative Life, and I'm not going to clutter the page, which is, I don't want to do that. So, all right. Email info@creativelife.org if you want to know what's going on with the center. Please, and our website's back up, creativelife.org. So that's another place. So you've got plenty of places. We're on 3 or 4 of the social medias, the website, the email. So there's all that available to you. And I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an amazing day, an awesome day, a go dance in the rain day, stay out of the lightning day, a turn around if you don't know how deep the water is day, a wrap your week up day, a I'm finished with my medications day. So hopefully my voice will get back to normal soon. A take care of yourself day, a enjoy yourself day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call it, you are a godling. All right, beloveds. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. If it's not raining in the morning, I'm going to go to the park. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.